That's kind of a cool sunrise. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. So at the moment, we have 0 functional choppers. You can see 2 out of 3 batteries missing. The one that's there is a 12-volt system. That kind of runs all the electronics in the cab. That one got replaced 2 weeks ago. Well, it's when I had my spout problems. It was that same day. They had jump-started to get it to start that morning. Thought, oh, how something just was wrong from sitting for a week. Well, Glenn gets here last night, blows off the machine, and it won't start. So, I can tell by the tools, Bart's already been here. Headed to town to get 2 new batteries. As for my chopper, the parts did come overnight. I don't know how. Ordering that late for Illinois, because that's where the parts had to come out of, was Illinois. Parts made it. I went in last night and checked on it because I was hoping it would be done mid-afternoon, because we've changed the def headers before on that machine, because there was no upgrade and all this and that Deere had to install, and it took Bart and Glenn a couple hours. So we were thinking, okay, we took it in about 10 o'clock, parts are here. We thought 3-4 o'clock they'd be done and we could get started, try it out, see how it worked. I went by there 3:30. Big side shield was still off. Talked to mechanic. He goes, we're waiting on the other part. All the stuff didn't come. I go, what other stuff? He goes, the insulation kit for the tank. It says to install that. I go, no, don't install that. I go, this one isn't overheating. We have an insulation kit that came with it when we bought it. They didn't have time to install it. And we said, well, we'll try and run it. If we don't have trouble, we probably won't put it on. Because Glenn's machine doesn't have trouble with it overheating. It was just my old machine. And he goes, oh, well, if that's the case, I can put the side back on. He goes, then it's just a question of all the software. And I go, what do you mean? And he points at this paper. And there's like 20 different controllers on there he has to put new software into. And they were looking for some clarification from Deere on some questions they had. Hopefully, we get that back this morning. Hopefully. I'm going to stay optimistic. It's going to get done this morning. Here's the other big change starting to happen. So we're hitting what's called the fall run. Everyone's taking their cattle off of grass. They're all being currently weaned, looking for food, which they got plenty of food. They're all trying to figure that out still. So now is when our cattle operation really starts to expand. Every fall, September, we'll quadruple the number of cattle we have on hand, just because all summer you go to a sale, you buy 10, 20 is a big day. Yesterday they bought 90. And then there's another sale today, so I'll bet we'll get another big chunk like that. And then there's a sale on Friday, so we'll get another big chunk like that. This is where we start adding up the numbers quick to get that back up and going. You are not supposed to be there. He must have crawled through the bunk. Forgot you guys were with me there for a little bit. So we got a crew processing cattle. Bart is on the phone with Crustbuster, trying to figure out why our center section on that, so there's each wing is its own section. The center section we were having a lot of trouble with. It would show that it was planting, but it wasn't actually turning. It would give you an RPM reading, everything, like it was working like it was supposed to, but it wasn't doing it. So we've got a sensor or computer issue, so Bart's trying to get a hold of Crustbuster to figure that out, which has been difficult, let's put it that way. Blanca's raking some hay that hopefully we can bale tonight or early tomorrow morning. Right now I'm going to get the seed tender hooked up, bring it to the shop, give it a quick once over so we can get some wheat seed. My home is back. Chopper number 1 back on the go. They think all the software updates work. Basically they said go give it a try and make sure everything functions properly. So I don't know, let's go find out. Got the row head hooked up. It still doesn't know what header it is. So. Oh, hello, Pinchy. Let's go give it a test in corn. Half a load of corn cut, now we're switched over to feed. So far, machine-wise, it's functioning. I've got several settings that I have to figure out how to program that I've never had to program before. So that's fun. But hopefully a little bit of time looking at the book and I can figure that out. This is some tall stuff. Makes 2 sprinkler corners all cleaned up. That's kind of nice. Biggest problem, I'm having trouble with my harvest lab. I went into the menu for it and it's all over the place. Now this is what non-irrigated usually looks like. I'm showing you this because this is ours. One of those deals, we caught the rains, it came up, then it quit raining, and it quit growing. But it looks good in the truck. Just finished off another corner, putting me right around 40 acres on the day. But I got thinking this, it's kind of amazing. We spend all summer growing all these crops that make it hard to see anywhere. And then come fall, you just slowly get visibility again. I mean, look at that sprinkler corner right there. I can see across it now. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too philosophical for 4 in the afternoon. Quick dust off. Talk to Bart when I see him, figure out what we're going to do about the harvest lab. I got to remember how to program those 3 buttons because right now they're not working. Other than that though, the harvest lab and the buttons, it seems like everything on the software is working. I don't know. Well guys, it's time to call it a night. Oh, gotta lock the door. Colton had a good day chopping where he was. I, as you saw, had a decent little partial day. Sounds like he's gonna go back where he was tomorrow. I'm gonna go start on the neighbors, but then about noon someone's gotta come take my place because my daughter has a taekwondo competition we gotta get to. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm interested. Either way though, heck of a sunset in the background. Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna tell you guys about. So we spent the last 2 days getting the drill ready, which we know we have problems with. We've talked to Crustbuster, the manufacturer. We've got a cell phone for one of their techs. And he was saying, check this, and we're going, all that stuff's checking out all right. And he goes, well then I think it's on your tractor end. And I'm going, no, this is a drill problem. Well, today Cameron goes to plant. He actually got an error code this time. We weren't getting error codes before. It would say it was planting when it wasn't planting. And it would say the drill was turning. Like the sensor was reading a speed saying, hey, that shaft's turning. And you'd be looking at it going, it's not turning. Well, today Cameron would take off and the 2 wing boxes were perfect. They were holding right at 100 pounds like they should. The center one was all over the place. It was speeding up, slowing down. And he said, you're either low on hydraulic oil, which we're going, no, or it's the speed sensor. And I told Bart and Cameron, I go, I think it's the drive motor. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Either way though, we got a seed tender full of seed, which I'll just leave it hooked up since I'm not going to be here. And no drill to function. Anywho, I'm going home. See you guys when I see ya.